Hello, I'm Tom Duffy, Chair of the Computer Science Department at NCC. I'll be your guide as we explore computer science at NCC and why it's the smart choice for a major and eventually a career. As I'm sure you know, NCC is located in Fairfield County, Connecticut. And if you live here, you know how expensive that can be. But don't just take my word for it. Here are a few news stories that provide some evidence. MarketWatch recently named the Stamford Norwalk area as the fifth most expensive place for a family of four to live in the country. Business Insider ranked the Stamford Norwalk metro area as the third highest place to live behind only Nantucket and Long Island. And Best Places assigned Norwalk a cost of living that is more than 33% higher than the national average. A good friend of mine was fond of saying that when it's not about the money, it's about the money. The good news is that when looking at careers, software development positions pay very well and can make up for the costs associated with living in Fairfield County. As you can see, the median wage for all occupations in Connecticut is $46,900. Often, the median is a better measure of a collection of data than an average, as there isn't much opportunity to skew the results. Still, the average entry-level salary for all jobs in Connecticut is $26,032, or $12.51 an hour. You can see the values for the 10th and 90th percentiles, and you can see that employment is expected to grow by nearly 6%. Full disclosure, these are pre-COVID numbers. Almost certainly, things have changed dramatically since this data was gathered. As you can see, jobs associated with fields covered in our degrees fare much better. Just take a look at the entry-level figures, and you'll see that developers can make 2 to 3 times as much as other occupations from the very beginning. And the growth in the field is projected to be up to 5 times greater than the average. I got all of the data here from the Connecticut Department of Labor website. You can check it out yourself if you'd like by following these links. So the question becomes, how do you get the training to do one of those great paying jobs? Well, before we get to the specifics, let's talk about NCC's approach to computer science and software development. Generally speaking, NCC serves two distinct populations of students, those who plan to pursue a bachelor's degree and those who plan to enter the workforce directly. Often, that can mean a difference in concentrating on the theory of computer science rather than the implementation. In other words, it's the difference between why things work versus how things work. In my experience, many four-year schools focus on the theory, but employers are interested in the implementation. At NCC, we ask, why not do both? And that's our approach. We will ground you in the theories of software development while showing you how to actually use those theories. I'm in contact frequently with employers who have told me that they are willing to train new employees in their technology stack. Part of our job is to reduce the amount of training dollars needed to get you up and running at your new job. And that also makes you a much more competitive applicant. Let's take a quick look at our computer science degree. This degree focuses on software development. All NCC degrees feature a set of core requirements, and the computer science degree is no different. As you can see, you'll be required to take 2 semesters of composition and a public speaking class. The math requirement is pre-calculus. You'll also need to take a lab science, a social science, and a humanities elective, and then you'll have 2 free electives to choose anything you'd like to take. Finally, you can see that Intro to Programming is a core requirement. Why do you need to take all these courses? Well, upon graduation, NCC will be putting its stamp of approval on you, and we firmly believe that all graduates should be able to communicate effectively both in writing and verbally, that all graduates should receive formal training in problem-solving techniques, that all graduates be exposed to the scientific method, and that all graduates should be exposed to the ideas of the world. The major requirements include 2 semesters of database development, an XML course, and a 2-semester programming sequence. Currently, we are offering sequences in Java, web development, and mobile programming. Finally, students must choose 3 approved electives. Approved electives are any computer science course or any math class at the 200 level or higher. Next, let's take a look at our web development degree. The first thing to note is that the web development degree is an AAS degree, or an Associate in Applied Science. So their core requirements are a little different, with the main difference being that the math requirement is college algebra versus pre-calculus. In addition, AAS degrees require fewer core credits than AS degrees. In the major, you'll take 2 semesters each of mobile programming and web development, and classes in PHP, database development, and object-oriented programming using Java. Finally, you'll be exposed to the tools and concepts of the graphic designer so that you will be familiar with them when you enter the workforce. So now that you've decided to pursue software development as a career, let's talk about where you'll get the training needed to be successful. I took a look at a variety of schools in the area and looked at what tuition and fees were for the fall 2020 semester. I started with the local state schools and then looked at some of the private schools relative to the cost of attending NCC. As you can see, NCC is a fraction of the cost of attending these schools. Western Connecticut's tuition is just under $12,000 per year. UConn is a little more than $20,000, NYU just over $27,000, and Fairfield is a little more than $50,000. NCC is under $5,000 per year, or less than half of the next cheapest option. And don't forget, these are just tuition costs. You may need to tack on room and board to attend those other schools. Let's review. We all know how expensive it is to live in Fairfield County, and we all know that landing a job in software or web development can help with covering those costs. You've discovered that NCC can give you the training needed to move on to a bachelor's degree, as well as compete for software development jobs, and that it's the bargain of the century when compared to other area schools. Thanks for checking out this presentation. You can download it from the link on the screen. Now, what are you waiting for? Go get registered as a computer science or web development major and start your journey to success. I'll see you in class.